Hello, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Cynthia. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how I make this beautiful dress you're seeing here. Okay, I want to replicate what the picture you're seeing here. So I want to share with you how I arrived at this. Okay, so if today is your first time of coming to my channel, you are very welcome. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe. So in today's tutorial, these are the items I'll be using to draft out this lovely dress. I have my pattern paper, my pattern master, and I'll be using this velvet material. Okay, it's called tape mouth. So I'll be using a half yard of it. Okay, so and this is also a skin net. I'm using the exact skin net of my clients. So I am using the exact client. So I'm using this skin net. This is her exact skin tone. So I'm using this, and this I'm using this lining, this fabric to line up what the velvet. And okay, so this is a hairstay. This is a hairstay. I'll be using this material hairstay for my velvet. I usually use my material stay for my velvet, so to give it that firmness. So you know velvet is stretchy, so with the hairstay, and also this is a paper stay. It's a paper light stay. I'll also be using this paper. It's a very light paper stay, so I'll be using it towards I'm using it on the velvet, okay, so that it won't be that stretchy. So this is a breast cup I'm using. It's actually a corset, but I am not dwelling much on the corset because I already have a video on how to draft the corset, but I'll be drafting everything, okay. And so I'll be using this light boning. Okay, and then I have my pattern paper, you can see, my marker, and also what my scissors. So I forgot to add, I'll be using this to embellish the dress, okay, and also I'll be using this on the waist area. So let's dive into the cutting table. By taking my shoulder measurements, I'll take my shoulder measurement at 16 inches. 16 divided by 2, we have 8 inches, so I'll take it at 8, and then I'm going to add ½ inch for my allowance. Then the armhole I'm working with is also 8 inches. 8 inches is my armhole, and the bust point I'm working with is 10 inches. The underbust I'm working with is 15 inches. The waistline, you know, is 3 inches after the underbust, so we have 1 to 3 at 18 inches. Then my bask measurement, if you see the dress, you look at the dress, this dress you're seeing here, it has a side bask, so I'll be using extra 6 inches for my backs, okay. And so I will have my 6 inches at 1 2 3 4 5 6 at 24, and then I'll add extra 1 inch for my allowance. So the neckline I'm working with here is 4 inches deep and then 4 inches wide. So I'll just make all my lines visible. So let's connect all the lines starting from our allowance. So I'll put my shoulder slope, and then I'm going to go ahead to put my neckline, my neck curve, and then my armhole curve. So here we have armhole, and we have bust points at BP. Here is underbust UB. Here is the waist WXT. There is the backline BL, and here is our allowance AL. So you can see. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my nipple to nipple line. The distance, that's the bust span separation. I'll be taking the bust span separation at 4.25. So I'll just go that way, 4.25 all the way, 4.25. Okay, I already have a video on how to make a corset, but because I'm making a side backs, that's why I'm trying to show you from starting to what to finish, so that you understand it and also replicate yours. Okay, and so if you replicate yours, please do try and send me the video so I can also what commend you too. Okay, I'll be putting my number below, so the WhatsApp number, so you can send it and show me how you were able to make yours and how it came out. So right now I'll be taking my darts on the underboss at 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So on the upper side, I'm going to come to this place, but let's take the darts first. So I'll take the darts to meet what the allowance I have here, and then here to the allowance I have here. So once I do that, I'm going to take my neckline. We already have a neckline here. This neckline is going to serve for a yoke. Okay, it's going to have a yoke on it. As you can see, the picture here has a yoke. So now I'm going to take my corset neckline. Okay, so right now I'll be taking the neckline at 7.5 inches. 7.5 is what I'm going to use. So around there, I'm going to what? Just mark the line. So I'll call this my upper bust what? Line. So it's called the upper bust line. Okay, and let me go again. Upper bust line. Here we have the armhole line, the bust points, the underbust, the waistline, the basque line, and the what? Allowance. So from that upper bust line, I'm going to measure what I have from the upper bust line to the what? To the underbust. I have 7.5. We're going to divide what we have into 2. 7.5 divided by 2, we have 3.75. So I will have a new bust point. Okay, so I have it at 3.5. Now I usually use this method for plus size. Okay, so people that have bigger bust, I usually use this method for them. Okay, so this is the bust point. So this is my new bust point. Okay, all right, so you should also try that out. So right now the next we're getting is my cleavage allowance. I'll be taking it at 1/2 inch. If you look at your bust, that center has a separation, so we're taking it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to just mark the 1/2 inch. So once we are through with that, I'm going to remember we used 3.5 to separate from the bust, the upper bust towards the under bust. So I'll just try to indicate there so that I will know where to connect my corset. So instead, I wouldn't want to draw a line so that it will not confuse you. So just indicate it there. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to first of all connect my darts. Let's connect the darts together. So just go ahead, play with your French curve or your pattern master, whichever one you're working with, just play with it. So I connect this. So you see where I'm connecting from, not from the main one, but from the new bust point. So please take note of that. So now I'm going to connect this too. Okay, so I've just connected this. I'm going to extend the line to meet what? The upper bust line. So let's extend it. So once you do this, you want to take your upper bust dart. So right here I'm going to take 1.5, and then here I'll take 1 inch. So I'm going to connect. So I'm connecting from this place, this point. Remember, this is our new bust point. So I'm going to connect that. So I've connected this. I think I should redo that. Let's redo it. So I've connected it, okay? And I'm going to connect this too. Please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, okay? When you subscribe, you also share with your soulmates, okay? Share the video so that your soulmates can also partake in what you are learning. So this is it, okay? So now I'm going to start connecting my corset. So I'm just going to use my free hand, or you can use your what? Your pattern master or French curve, whichever one you are using. So I'll use a green dotted line. You see how I connected this? Okay, let's see if it's the same thing. So you can see it's almost the same thing with our pattern master. So now once I connect this, I'm going to put a new neckline. So I want to use this my scissors. Sorry, this is my ruler for my neckline, okay? And this is my trouser ruler, but I want to use it today for my neckline. So to get my neckline, from there I'm going to take 1 inch. Okay, so you're going to connect the 1 inch. You can decide to go this way, or you can decide to come in this way. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Okay, so I've just connected here. So now I'm going to measure what I have on this place, from here, from the bust point here to here, before the cleavage line. So we have 3.75, and you know the bust is usually fuller on this area, so we're going to add extra ½ inch to it, and so we have 4.25. So I'm taking 4.25 around here, 4.25 here. So I'm going to still connect with my dotted lines. Please, you can use your French curve so you don't make mistake. So the same thing I have here, I'm going to still do the same thing here. I will take the same 4.25. So I'm actually taking it around here. Okay. Sorry, that was my neighbor who was knocking. So once I get here, I'm going to connect this way. I'm going to connect this way into the armhole. But it's looking funny because you want it to protrude around this area. So let's redo it. So what I usually do is this. I'll just place my ruler this way. That's why I like using this ruler. Okay, it usually gives me what I want. So once I go this way, I'll come this way. Okay, so this is it. Just try it out, okay? Try it out 1 or 2 times, you'll get it. All right, so this is it, okay? So my measurement, the bust I'm working with is 40.5 divided by 4. I have 10.125. So it's here. I'm going to add 3 inches for my allowance. You know I like allowance. Oh, very, very well. Okay, so now the under bust I'm working with is 34 divided by 4. So 34.75 divided by 4. We have 8.6 thereabouts. So I'm going to use 8.6. And then I'm going to add that, okay? 2 inches that, and then 3 inches for my allowance. And then because I extended this to the hip line, I'm going to use my hip measurement. Okay, the hip I'm working with is 44 divided by 4. I have 11 inches, so 11. And then I'll add 3 inches for my allowance, and then 2 inches for my darts. So I am going to connect to the waist. Okay, the waist I'm working with is 37. 37 divided by 4 is 9.25. 2 inches for my darts, and then 3 inches for my allowance. So I'm going to connect. Okay, let's connect from my hip to my waist, and then I'll take it to meet my underbust, and then I won't take it to meet my bust point. Okay, I'll just take it to the armhole. So I'm going to consider my armhole. The armhole I'm working is with 18 inches. So 18 divided by 2, I have 9, and then I'll add extra 1, so it's 10 here. So I'll just connect to what? To my armhole. So there. So I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll show you how to do the what? The bask, the one-sided bask. So this is it. Okay, so you can see this is it, and this is our yoke. Okay, this is the yoke, and we are using, like I said, I'm using a breast cup, and I have a video on how to make a corset. I have a video on how to make it. Okay, don't be confused. I have a video on how to make this corset. It is possible. At the end of everything, we'll chop here off, and then you're cutting your yoke. We're going to extend this more. So but what I'm trying to focus here right now is on how to get your what the side bask. Okay, the side bask. So to get the side bask, you're going to determine where you want it to be. Okay, determine where you want your side backs to be. I know you are waiting for me to do the 3-way corset. I have the video also. I'll put it on the link. The video is too long, so I want us to cut it short. I'll be putting the video of how to cut the 3-way corset. You go and watch it. I also put the video on how to sew it. You also go and watch it. But where I'm focusing right now is how to get what that slanted, that side backs you are seeing. So I actually made a mistake on when I was cutting this, so I had to redo it. So I don't want this to confuse you, so that's why I turned it to the other side, so that you will not be confused. Okay, so now we are going to what? To do the side. You determine where you want your side to be. Okay, on this picture we have here, so okay, this is my left side and this is the right side. Okay, and the side backs is on the what? On the left side. So right now I'm going to come to the waistline. So I'm going to put this so that we can calculate together. Okay, so I'll just put this here. You remember her underbust is at 15 inches, if you still remember. Is at 15 inches, which is here. That's the underbust. Let me carry it down so that you see very well. So this is the underbust here. And this waistline is at 18 inches, which is here. Okay, so I'll just add extra 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So this is our waistline. So just get the waistline. This is the waistline. Okay, remember it's a side bask. Okay, so from here, from this point, I'm going to connect it to meet what? to meet what? This point. Okay, I'm also supposed to cut, but it's better you cut so that you avoid all this that. So before I cut, I'm going to use my masking tape and hold all this. Okay, the masking tape to hold. I'm just trying to use my masking tape on it so that it will stop shifting while I try to do the side back. So let's just hold it together. Side, so I have to label left and what and right. So now, like I said, you're going to determine where your underbust is. Her underbust is here, plus 3 inches, which is the waistline. I added extra 1 inch for my what sewing allowance. So I'm going to connect right from here, right from this line to meet what? Here. Okay? Right from here to here. So let's connect. And then I'll finish with this. I'll finish up with this. So we are going, let's go there. So as you can see, this is it. So we are going to cut it out. Now this video is going to be divided into 2 because it's long. So I'm going to show you all the sewing aspects. Okay, I'll show you the sewing aspect when I am sewing it. By the time I want to join it to the lower bodice, I'm also going to cut the skirt. The skirt is also going to be slanted. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. So now this is the front. Let's do what? The back. Okay, let's go on and do the back. So right now I can just remove what? This. I'll just remove it. But let's do the back. And then we'll come back and see how it looks. The basic dart. Let's use basic, okay? But you can use any dart of your choice. So, but let's use basic. So the neckline, remember it was 4 inches. So I've added my 2 inches for zip. My client said she wants a zipper, okay? So I'll be using this zip. And then the neckline, it should be the same thing with the front, okay? I used 4 inches for the width of the neckline. So then the deep, I'll be using 10 inches, okay? I'll be using a V neckline, okay? So it's what I want to use, V neckline. So from there I'll just connect. So I've just connected it. So connect this way and then what? Go this way, okay? So this is how it's going to look like. So we'll chop here off. So the next is putting my shoulder slope. I'll come down here by 1 inch and I'll put my shoulder slope. Okay, so now I'll be putting it that. Remember, her nipple to nipple is 4. We use 4.25. So we have it here. So I'll take ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch here, ½ inch here. So I'll come as high as I want, as high as 10 inches. So I'm taking it here. I'll connect this, and then I also connect this. So I've connected my darts. So I've connected what? The dart. You can decide to make a princess dart or whatever dart of your choice you want, okay? But I think the basic bodice is going to be more easier for me, okay? So that's why I'm using a basic body. So I'll just put my armhole curve. Okay, so I want the back to have a yoke. Yes, I want it to have a yoke. So because I want it to have a yoke, I'll just draft out what my yoke. Here I'll come down by 6 inches. Okay, so we take our yoke this way. The back yoke is not actually supposed to be that curved, so I'll take it this way, and then so this is my back yoke. Okay, so it's coming in this way, so I'm taking the back yoke that way. You can decide to take it straight if you want. Okay, I think I'll just take it slantedly this way, and avoid all the drama. Okay, so this is my yoke. I'll take my yoke out and then we'll cut. So now the bust I'm working with is 40.5 divided by 4. I'll be taking it at 10.125. Remember, you should take from here because it's your zipper allowance. So I have it here. I'll add 3 inches also for my allowance, and then the underbust I'm working with is 34.75, and so I'll be using 8.6 from here. So I add back this little dot here, that's ½ inch, and then 3 inches. Then the waist I'm working with is 9.25. I'll add back this half here, and then 3 inches for my allowance. And then for the hip, I'm working with 11 inches. And then I'll put back the 1 inch dots and then 3 inches. Please, you should use 2 inches, okay? I formed the habit of using that kind of allowance. So I'm going to connect here. I'm going to connect it this place. And then straight towards the armhole. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm actually making this dress for a plus size person, so that's why everything we need is big. Okay, so I'm cutting this way. I'm cutting out the yoke first. So right now I'm going to open up the zipper allowance. So once I open up the zipper allowance, I'm going to open everything up. So this is how it's going to look like, this way, and then this way. Remember, we have 2 inches for, this is 2 inches for zip allowance. It's going to sit this way. Okay, so the cloth is sitting this way. Okay, so now we are also going to determine where we want our backs to be, because both the back and the front need to be equal. So before I do that, I'm going to fold my 2 inches for my zip allowance. So fold the 2 inches. I hope you're getting what I'm doing. Fold the 2 inches. If you don't get it the first time, please watch again and then fold the 2 inches also. Let me be sure they are equal. Okay. So this is the 2 inches, 2 inches. So I folded the 2 inches inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use my masking tape to hold it down, so that you stop moving. I'll set this yoke aside. Set it aside. So just hold it together so that it won't be shifting or dancing while we are cutting. And please do not forget, let's notch our darts, okay? Because by the time I do this now, the dart is going to, let's always notch the dart first. So let's notch the dart here, here, and here. So now you can open. and make sure it's sitting this way. You see, the zipper allowance is facing here and this one is facing that way. Make sure it's like that. So carry it this way. Okay, so once we do this, the next thing you want to do is to bring the front. Okay, this is the front side of the clothes and this is the front side. Let me label it again. So this is the front side. Okay, this is also what the front side. This is my front side, so that if you're cutting your fabric, you will not be confused. Front side, and then we have the right and the what, also what, the left. Please don't forget, so you're going to place it this way, front side facing what, front side. Remember, you want the bars to be on the left hand side, so it's going to be front side facing front side. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So this is it. Okay, right now we are going to what, cut. Okay, so we are going to cut it now. Make sure they are equal here and there. So we are cutting it up. So this is it. Okay, this is our side basque. All right, so please, if this tutorial was very helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe and also share with your soulmates. Okay, because the video is long, I'll be dividing this video into two: the cutting aspect and what, the sewing aspect. And then for my cup area, I have a video on how to do this. I'll be showing it here, so I'll just go do it off camera. But I'm going to see you again in my next tutorial, which will be the sewing aspect. Please, all right, make sure you watch and share. Okay, if you don't understand, watch again. All right, so we've come to the end of the class again. I'm going to see you in the next video. All right, bye.